After a routine school photo session, a parent noticed something strange. An extra girl appeared in the class picture, one no one remembered. The school had no record of her, and none of the students recognized her. A local journalist, digging deeper, found similar cases in other towns, each involving a mystery girl who vanished, leaving behind only a photo. Only one case had a recording where the girl actually moved and looked straight into the lens. It started with a Facebook post from a mother named Dana Cook. She uploaded the new second-grade class photo from Lincoln Elementary and wrote, "Is it just me, or is there one extra kid in this picture?" The post wasn't meant to be dramatic. Her son Ethan had told her there were 23 students in his class, but when Dana counted the children in the photo, there were 24. The girl stood in the top row near the corner behind a taller boy in a red sweater. Her face was slightly out of focus, like she had moved during the shot. She wore the same school uniform as the others, but the logo on her shirt looked faded and old, like it had been washed too many times. Dana asked her son who the girl was. He looked confused. "I don't know her," he said. "She wasn't there." Dana called the school office the next morning. The secretary pulled up the official class roster. 23 names. No one missing, no one extra. The girl didn't match any child enrolled at the school, not even from another grade. Dana then called the photo studio listed on the envelope. Harrison School Portraits, a small regional company. The woman who answered, Sandy, checked the file and confirmed. No editing had been done to the group photo. The photographer hadn't added or removed anyone. The image was exactly a shot. By the end of the week, the photo had been shared over 100 times on local social media pages. More parents began to ask their kids if they remembered the girl. No one did. The teacher, Ms. Lambert, said she never saw the girl at the shoot and didn't recognize her either. She even reviewed the sign-in sheet for photo day. No anomalies. Dana pressed further and requested the original file from the studio. When she received the high-resolution version, she zoomed in on the girl's face. Her eyes were open just a bit wider than the rest. Her lips were parted, but not smiling. The skin tone seemed a touch off, as if the lighting didn't hit her the same way. There was something else. Around her edges, her shoulders and hair, there was a faint blur, not like motion, but like a soft haze separating her from the rest of the group. She was there, in the frame, but she didn't belong. After pressure from parents, the school decided to address the situation during class. Ms. Lambert projected the photo onto the smartboard and asked the students if they could help identify everyone. The children named their classmates one by one, joking and pointing, until they got to the girl in the back row. The room fell silent. A few kids squinted at the screen. One boy asked, "Was she in Ms. Carter's class?" Another shook his head. "No, I don't think she goes here." Nobody recognized her. Not one name came up. Ms. Lambert felt uneasy. She'd taught this class all year. She knew every face, every seat, every morning routine. There was no way a new student had joined without her knowledge. She checked the district database again. No new enrollments, no transfers, no visiting students that day. She even walked down to the front office and spoke to the registrar in person. Nothing. The school had no record of this girl ever existing. In the teacher's lounge, the conversation turned into speculation. Some blamed a camera malfunction. Others joked that it was a viral marketing stunt. But the photographer had already confirmed that there were no composite edits. It was a single frame, captured at 11:08 a.m. on a Tuesday. Dana Cook returned to the studio that day to collect additional versions, original digital negatives, uncompressed files, timestamps. All showed the same thing. In every shot, the girl was there, standing still, eyes forward, hands at her sides. A few of the kids began to mention strange feelings from that day. One girl said she felt cold during the photo, even though it was warm outside. Another boy said he kept thinking someone was standing too close behind him but didn't want to turn around. None of them saw the girl. They just felt off, like something invisible had been there and barely out of reach. The school counselor was brought in. She asked the class general questions about the day. Most had nothing to say. A few said they remembered a smell they couldn't describe, something like wet leaves or old soap. Ms. Lambert requested to cancel any public comments, but the photo had already spread. The girl's face was on Facebook, in group chats, on printed flyers passed around the PTA. Still, no one knew her name, and no one remembered her being there. The story gained local attention, but it was an independent journalist named Valerie Knox who connected the dots. She had been tracking strange school photo incidents for over a year. She reached out to Dana Cook after recognizing the blurred girl's face from a case in Minnesota. It wasn't identical, but close. Same posture, same empty expression, same slight blur around the edges. Valerie requested copies of the original Lincoln Elementary photo files and began comparing them to her archives. She found 3 other schools, all in different states, all within the past 5 years. Each had reported a similar anomaly. In Ohio, a 3rd-grade class photo included a girl no one could identify. In Oregon, the extra child was seen only in 1 frame out of 5. In Kansas, the girl appeared in 2 pictures taken 5 seconds apart, standing in different spots. Every time she looked slightly different, but carried the same characteristics: neutral stance, slightly parted lips, outdated uniform, blurred edges, eyes that never seemed to focus on the camera. Valerie called the schools. Some had archived the photos, others had deleted them. One principal admitted they brushed it off as a tech glitch. Another blamed a double exposure. But in each case, no one could identify the girl. Not teachers, not students, not parents. There were no matching enrollment records, and no one ever came forward claiming her. She contacted the photo studios. 2 were national chains. 1 was a local contractor. All 3 denied any manipulation. The metadata confirmed that the girl was captured in camera. No evidence of digital insertion. Valerie wrote a blog post titled "The Extra Girl" and published it late one night. Within days, more messages started pouring in. Most were hoaxes or photoshopped jokes, but a handful had real, unedited class photos. And the girl was there again. Slightly older, different hairstyle, same strange presence. Then she got a call from a retired teacher in Wisconsin. He said he'd seen the girl once, not in a photo, but in person. It was 10 years ago. He remembered a fire drill. Kids were lining up outside. He noticed a girl he didn't recognize at the end of the row. When he blinked, she was gone. No one else saw her. But the next week, she was in the class photo. The child sitting next to her died in a house fire 3 days later. The retired teacher from Wisconsin, Harold Drexler, agreed to meet with Valerie Knox in person. He brought with him a box of old mini-DV tapes he had saved from his years of teaching. Most of them were mundane: assemblies, spelling bees, class birthdays. But one was labeled Photo Day, Spring 2012. It matched the time and location of the incident he described. Valerie borrowed a converter and spent the evening digitizing the footage in her apartment. She wasn't expecting much, but what she found stopped her cold. The video opened with kids joking and lining up in front of the school building. The weather was bright. Children filed into position, laughing and nudging each other. The camera panned slowly across the row. Teachers stood nearby adjusting collars and tucking in shirts. Everyone looked normal. Then, around the 1-minute mark, a figure entered from the edge of the field. A girl. She walked without speaking. Her uniform was mismatched, an older version of the school colors with a faded crest. She didn't look at anyone. No one reacted to her arrival. She moved behind the last row and stood completely still. The camera work continued uninterrupted. Teachers gave instructions. Kids waved at the camera, but she didn't move. At 2 minutes and 12 seconds, the photographer counted down. 3, 2, 1. Smile. At that moment, the girl turned her head slowly. For the first time, she faced the lens. Her eyes didn't blink. Her mouth didn't move. But her expression changed subtly, like recognition, like a signal. Then the screen distorted. Not a glitch, an organic shimmer, as if the footage was resisting itself. For 3 seconds, the screen was nothing but static. When the picture returned, the girl was gone. The kids hadn't shifted. The teachers hadn't noticed anything. Everything continued as if she had never been there. Valerie reviewed the footage 5 more times. Each time, the effect was identical. The girl appeared, stared into the lens, then vanished. She uploaded a frame-by-frame breakdown to a private server. She emailed copies to the 3 schools where similar sightings had occurred. One of the IT staffers replied within the hour. He said he had chills watching it. The girl in the video matched the one from their 2018 class photo. He ended the message with a question. How do you take a picture of something that doesn't exist?